Thanks for tuning in. We're Julie and Dana, two moms navigating marriage and motherhood. But this is definitely not your mom's podcast.
Hey guys, it's Julie.
It's Dana, and this is not your mom's podcast.
Woo woo.
So
I'm dying. We just did a bunch of social media clips here, and Dana's so like young and vibrant and with it, and she's having me like do these crazy things.
You're also like really flexible and athletic.
I don't think I'm that flexible. When we did that, I thought my vagina was gonna rip to my butthole or something. Like it
did feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we almost peed on each other. So there was that too.
I think like crazy like sexual positions too.
I know. Do you remember when we were younger getting the Cosmo magazines that would show all the different sex positions?
Yeah.
I remember studying that at like 14 years old. Like I wasn't using that. But I remember being like, wow,
it's
like
so funny
reverse
how you
cowgirl.
Think, I know. Well, it's so funny how you think you're going to like plan out all these like fun things. And then when like if you're with your significant other for quite a bit of time, it's like the same too. I feel like. Or for me it is.
Like you have your top favorites.
Yeah.
Oh
Wait,
my God.
Are you like way more adventurous?
I would say I'm the more adventurous one.
Oh, that makes me feel bad. I need to step up my game.
Yeah, I would say that.
I feel like
I don't know though. I mean, like, I don't know. He is too, but I would say maybe like a little bit more.
I know, but you like switch around a lot?
I don't know. I guess so. I get what you're saying though. Definitely like you kind of stick with what you know.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
100%.
Like, is that, would you say?
I definitely am not doing all these crazy like wild positions.
No, I even mean like just even getting up to get on top or reverse or whatever, or like switching it. I feel like I stick to like 2 or 3 kind of things.
Yeah. But I do remember reading that in the Cosmo. You know what else I used to read?
Vodka, and then I'm like, let's go. Let me show you a good time. I'm gonna rock your world.
The drunk you, the real you.
I know, the real me.
You know what else I remember reading?
What?
Did you guys have magazines in Saudi Arabia like that or no? Because it was like big here.
Actually, they would marker out the skin.
Wow.
Even in our yearbook, if anybody had like their arm showing, they would like marker.
So you weren't getting magazines that showed 17 top sex positions?
No.
Oh, yeah, that was like super common here. I like lived off magazines in my preteen and teen years. And like all the quizzes, like what kind of bread are you? Or like what kind of
like we would try to bring it in, but in customs, they would like go through all the magazines. I think they just wanted to see like hot girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
and
I was
some
gonna
things
say,
would get through and some things wouldn't.
Okay, because I was going to say another really big thing was that I thought was going to be a part of my life that is not, is all the tips of how to go from daytime makeup and daytime outfits to nighttime. And I thought I was going to live like a Sex in the City life where I was going to be like doing all my stuff during the day and then I had to get my quick like nighttime look on. I never do that. I literally like go home and wash my face and go to bed.
I know. It's funny. I do try to like start my day and I kind of know when that day is going to be the day that I need makeup and get ready, or it's going to be like, no one's seeing me. I don't care. So like, I don't even try. But I usually start in the beginning of the day, and then what it is I've put on for that morning, it's going to stay on.
I might do a little touch up, but that's about it.
I don't know if I do that.
Only if I'm like going out to dinner or something.
Yeah. When you were younger, did you change? This is what my mom always said. Like, did you change your clothes a lot?
Yes.
And do you see your kids do that now? And it's so annoying. You're like, you wore this for like 2 hours. Is it dirty? Is it not dirty?
Yeah.
Clothes are so expensive. You don't want to keep like washing them and like. I'm like, fucking put them back. Like, you know what I mean?
That or they're in like the same outfit for days. Like they'll find an outfit and they're just like always in it.
Oh, no, that's not Freya. I have to tell Styles to change.
I'm a changer to this day and I throw everything in my closet and John's always like, oh my God, like there's shit everywhere. Like,
I do change
too.
I
have clothes all over my bathroom, clothes all over my closet because I'll like try it on and be like, oh, this doesn't look good today.
Yeah. Or I do like go from like what I'm wearing when I'm walking dogs and whatever. And then if I have to be seen like in public, I might throw on a different outfit. But I just remember like having 5 billion outfits all the time.
My 2024 goal, like one of my resolutions, I guess, if you want to say, like, is that I want to try to get myself ready more. And honestly, this podcast is helping me.
I know.
And I get annoyed, but like the other day I was like, wow, but like I do feel better about myself too.
I
like
know.
I feel good that even at car pickup line or picking up from dance, like I look somewhat put together now.
It does make you feel more like ready? It's almost like putting your.
Yeah.
Do you wear glasses?
Yes.
Okay. It's almost like putting your contacts in. When you wear glasses, someone always says like, Trevor always tells me like, I don't know, it makes me feel like I'm not awake and like ready.
It's so true.
I wear my glasses a lot, but I do get that like getting dressed up and getting ready. I know beauty comes from the inside, but when you put yourself together in some sort of way, like you just feel like more ready to take on the world.
Do you have 2024 goals? I have a few. You don't? Set some right now. Let's do it. So
I don't feel like I need any.
No, you do.
I'm living
you always
my best
have
life.
to. No, you always
Except
have
for the
the
farm.
room for improvement, Julie. There's nothing?
I have 5 billion hobbies that I always want to do all the time.
I know. You do a lot of things.
So I don't really have a goal.
Oh, man.
Other than maybe a little bit more me time. I've been spreading myself out like thin.
Yeah, I've been spreading myself out thin too.
Like I need to get back to like my meditation sometimes. Like sometimes I'll sit outside in my backyard under the trees. I used to do this, and I think my neighbors think I was like a kook, but I just sit there.
Bet your neighbors definitely think you're
crazy. I get like
crazy.
my crystals and just like sit there. Like I used to do that.
Yeah.
And like try to channel. It's my okay. Yes, that's my goal. I want.
You're gonna channel.
Channel.
Oh, I hope you get to do it.
I know, but will you believe me?
Yeah, I'll believe you.
Really?
Yeah, I believe you.
That means a lot because I feel like everyone else will think like I'm just making shit up. And I think that's what. When you listen to all these like tips on channeling, that's literally you have to either be that confident person that's just whatever thought comes in, you tell people that that's a channeling. I battle with, is that my own thought or is that literally like something else?
True.
So then I get stuck on believing that could be a channel message or not.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know how you.
I know it is interesting, right?
I don't know
like
how you know
all
now.
of that. I mean, even I guess like that kind of makes me feel like religion too, right? Like it's like when people are like, "Oh, God spoke to me." Like,
I know.
It's like
I know it's hard. It's a hard
one.
one.
It is hard.
I know. There is a person, a channeling person called Channeling Eric. It's kind of a sad story, but the mom started this show or the YouTube channel. Her son, I don't think we could say it on here, decided to leave this lifetime. Okay.
Yeah.
And she was always searching, but there was like weird things like smells.
Yeah,
when
I
he
believe
left,
that.
like things that she just felt like he was trying to communicate. So she would start like with these like psychics and stuff. And like eventually she found a few that would like say things to her and act the way he did and the way that she definitely knew
she was like,
true.
That's him. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like worldwide, she has like about 10 or so that can channel him. And it's really, really cool. And they like, cause he curses a lot. He's like, fuck that. I'm like, I love like one of the parts he says, he's like, I think you humans just like need to chill the fuck out. Like get some weed and a bottle of wine, enjoy food, enjoy sex, and just stop worrying so much because like in the non-physical you don't get to enjoy that kind of like I don't know, third dimensional like earth human thing. I mean, he talks about so much stuff, but I just thought that was funny. I'm like when it gets really hard, it's like just chill out. Like just chill
I
out.
would be so excited if you could channel spirits.
But so my goal is to channel Eric.
Oh,
it's like a big one.
Okay.
I think that he'd be a funny
That's
person.
A lofty 2024
because he's
goal.
like he left when he was like a young adult and he's really funny and he's cool and like I don't know, so if I could like channel that, it's not like
do you question though if like
light, you know,
some of those people already know from other people channeling him like how he acts and then they just act
because
on
like
it?
It's you can definitely be skeptical.
But you could also be a liar.
But what gain? For what gain?
I don't know. I remember. So, have you ever watched the show The Long Island Medium?
Yeah, I used to.
So that's where I lived, right? So like everyone used to like talk about her. Well, like there was a lot of things about how people were thinking that there was some scandal behind that, and like was she lying for fame and money and resources?
I know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think if it resonates with you, whatever you want to believe, like whatever.
I follow two mediums that I really like.
Okay.
I'll send them to you. One is I want to say her name is like Bluebird Sarah or something. Okay. I could be wrong on that. And then the other one is her name's Kat.
Oh, okay.
And they're both like mediums, but they're pretty like spot on.
That's what I mean. Like some things that cool. Just like you're like, okay. Yeah. There's a young man, and now I forgot his name, but he's really good. He does all the celebrities. I like him because he's really positive. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's for fame and stuff. In fact, he never drives. His mom drives him everywhere.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and then I think he still lives with her and stuff like that. And that's all he does. And he has like a wait list of like 5 years.
Huh.
Because it's that good. And he does the celebrities and stuff, but he doesn't like ill and actually like kind of kills them. Like I think I could be butchering. I wish I had his name so I can give him props, but like. I think it's sort of like him being able to do that steals a little bit of his life each time. Like he has to sit in bed for like days sometimes.
That's what the mediums I follow. Like one of them always says like, I got to go now. Like I'm really drained.
So one of the things that I think maybe why I can't do it right now is because I have like a family.
You don't have the room to be drained.
I don't have the room to be drained. And so maybe it's not that part of
maybe it's not time
in my life.
Timing's everything.
Yeah. I do think timing's everything.
Did I ever tell you the story about my family's beach house?
No. Is there something spooky going on?
Yeah.
There?
Okay. So my family has this beach house. My like great grandfather built it. It's beautiful. The beach house itself is not beautiful. It's like a little cottage thing.
Okay.
But it's on like a river out east, kind of like by the Hamptons area and stuff. It is just like the most beautiful view. So we used to go there.
Will you get that in the will?
So they just sold it, but we'll get into that. It was supposed to go down, but like it gets too crazy with like all of us cousins sharing it, and we're out of state. Anyway. So we used to go out as a whole family, and we would like spend a weekend there every single summer. And my grandma used to love doing seances. So we would all gather around the table.
I love that.
Okay, so we're gathering around the table, and it was like half joking, half serious. Like some of us were sitting around like not believing it, and some people were, or whatever.
Yeah.
So she turns off all the lights, and just to give you an idea, like this is in the middle of the woods. So you have to drive through a dirt road, this cottage.
Okay.
A dirt road. And like you go through all these woods and then you get there. Like it is in the middle of nowhere. So it's dark out there. It's kind of creepy as is.
Yeah, you're like out there.
So we go there. My grandpa's brother died at a very young age. Tragically. And he used to always play the harmonica. So that's just like a background story. So we're doing this seance, and some weird things start happening. Like it starts getting windy, and then like weird stuff's happening.
Wind's a sign, actually.
Right. So with that, my grandma says my grandfather's brother's name out loud, and she was like, if you're here, like give us a sign. And all of a sudden everybody hears a harmonica played clear as day.
Did someone scream when that happened, or were you like in shock and you just
No, like everyone was just like, what? Like what is happening? Clear as day. Every single person heard it. It was so weird. Fast forward, we go out there another summer. We're all sitting there. Now I have my cousin. She's probably like 5 at the time. And we all have to split up. There's like a few bedrooms, and then a lot of us just used to like take sleeping bags and sleep in the living room. So the way it is the front door is here, and then you walk in and there's like a galley kitchen, and then it's an opening and it's the living room. So everything's kind of open and it's small. So we're all sitting there, and I mean, we're all sleeping. We're all dead asleep. And my mom tells us the next day, and my cousin's nowhere near there. She's still sleeping in the bedroom with my aunt. She's like, it was so weird last night. I swear, guys, the door opened. So I like jumped up because I heard the door open. And this woman in like very old Victorian clothes walked back and forth in the kitchen.
Who's
back
that
and
bitch?
forth, back and forth. I don't know. This is on like, you have to remember this, all this land out there is like very old and stuff. So who knows, you know, like that the whole area is like super old.
Home. And she was like,
probably. And she just walked back and forth. So my mom's telling everyone the story. So with that, my aunt wakes up like a little later on, and she comes out and she's like, oh my God, guys, Kira, like my cousin, she was like, she swears she saw this like woman last night. She was like describing it. It was exactly how my mom described it.
Oof.
So that happened. Fast forward again, years later, now I'm in college. I decided to start throwing parties there. It was like such a cool place. I had a Halloween party. I had my birthday party. Like we all dressed up. We went out there. I had a bunch of people. And we were sleeping in the living room. And I hear the front door open. And I'm like, oh, shit. I was like, I don't even want to see this. I knew it was going to happen. This place is like always has weird stuff happening. Front door opens clear as day. And with that, I hear footsteps going all the way up and down the kitchen. And I was too scared to even look. Like I was like, I don't even want to see it.
I would bury my face.
I'm just going to lay here. Covers. And I asked, so then the next morning, John told me,
someone up so that I didn't have to suffer
alone.
Well,
John told me he heard the same thing. Like we were next to each other, and he was like, no one looked. I know. But I was scared to interrupt it too. Like nothing bad ever happened. It was always just the presence, but I was scared to interrupt it. I didn't want to see it. I kind of didn't want like any of it. Isn't that crazy?
No, it's not crazy. Maybe that's why I can't channel, because I'm also like scared to see and accept.
But then I also wonder, my mom's always has this around her. So like it was that beach house.
Some people
my mom grew up in a house where they had like the two kids' bedrooms were upstairs, and there was this weird crawl space that connected the two with like little doors, and they didn't go in it because it was so creepy, they said. But every night they'd hear banging and knocking from the inside.
Like they were like people trapped.
Yeah.
And that's where like kids got punished.
Isn't that creepy? But it's always around my mom. My mom, when my grandpa died, my mom said that like she saw a man come into the house, and like then it smelled like smoke, which my grandpa always smoked. Like she's always seeing, feeling around it. I'm always telling her, I'm like, you have something.
Is she a Scorpio too?
No, she's a Cancer.
Well, that's good too. That's a sensitive like water sign. Like a Scorpio water sign.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes people have that sixth sense.
She's the reason I found out I was pregnant with Lily.
Oh my gosh.
She texted me and was like, I had a dream you had a girl, like you were pregnant, you had a girl. And I was like, that's weird, Mom. My mom has had a few dreams though that came true. Yeah, my mom had a few dreams that came true though. So I took a pregnancy test and I was positive. Then found out 10 weeks later it was a girl.
Oh my gosh. I'm not that good. Your mom should be the channeler.
I know. I bet you if she really like worked towards it, she could. Because like, why does all this happen to you?
Yeah, and you just have to get rid of that like, I don't know if it's true or not. You just be like, this is what
she's
they're telling me.
confident.
That's what I mean.
Oh no, she'll tell you like
she'll-
that happened.
I know. I think she would be good at it.
Yeah.
I just second guess myself.
So funny. God. Well, anyway, I have some 2024 goals, so I will share them with you.
What are your 2024 goals, Dana?
So I'm gonna get ready more often. Okay. I want to feel calm. I really just want, a lot of it comes with, I want to feel good about myself. So I want to work out more. I want to get into more of like a schedule with that. I want to try new things working out wise, which is like the rollerblading was one of them. And I want to get ready more. So kind of all going into like me just kind of working on myself and finding myself again.
Yeah.
And then goal number 2 is I want to find a good balance with my family.
Yeah.
I want to find a little bit more time where I spend some time with my kids, both one-on-one and just with them.
It's a good one. Yeah.
I feel like the hustle and bustle is real right now. I was just telling John, I'm like, it's kind of sad. Like, we don't get to do as many fun things with them that we used to when they were younger. Like, we used to just like go to the beach or go to the arcade or go bowling. And now it's kind of like we pick them up, we drop them off, we pick them up, we drop them off.
Absolutely.
And then it's like so much of it's ending up to be yelling.
Freya told me, like, it was like a couple weeks ago, we were like in bed. She's like, I feel like I go to school day and then I get dance and like there's really no time for you and I to play. And I like died inside. I was like, I know. And I'm like, listen, we don't have to do this dance schedule or whatever. I'm like, just tell me when. Like,
it makes you question everything.
It makes me question it. The fact that she even voiced that to me, like I died. I was like, okay, today we can't because I have to go. And it was unfortunate. Then the moment that she wanted it, I couldn't. I had work all night.
I know.
And I'm like, and tomorrow you go to school and then you have dance. But I'm like, Friday, let's sit down and like, but I had to like, I don't know. It just was really sad.
It is sad, but it's like also what's the answer, right? Homeschooling and no extracurriculars versus extracurriculars and traditional school. Right. It's like
I don't
there are times where I'm like, this is wrong. We're too busy and
me too.
I'm not enjoying my kids, right? I just saw this video of this guy and he said the first 10 years of your children's lives are the most important. And that's because it's the only time in your child's life that you're the most important person ever. After 10, they have best friends. They have boyfriends and girlfriends. They have
10
after 10. Like he's talking like on. So like as they become teenagers,
Styles better not have anything.
No, but like I had
still really
like,
lovable.
I would say around 11 or 12 is when I started to have best friends that I wanted to be with all the time.
Yeah, and you cared a lot about what they thought about you on your phone a lot and stuff.
Yeah. Fast forward to like 16, 17 boyfriends.
Oh, man, yeah.
Fast forward to 20, 24 kids, marriage. Like my parents are always very important, but it's true.
I guess a goal for me would be like definitely that as well, but also Trevor and I are like refocusing on each other.
I was going to say that was the next part.
Yeah, like I definitely still think that and I've mentioned this many times and you know this part about me. I want them to know what like a true partnership does take work, you know? So if they're going to ever have like, and I'm not saying they need to find the one early and then stay married to them for the rest of their life, because I feel like that's also not always a true story. And then they feel like that they're failing every time like a breakup happens or something. But I just want them to know like anybody you decide to like spend time with and commit with is going to take a little bit of effort, which means, you know, not always being busy yourself, but making time for them. So I want them to see what like our relationship dynamics are. We're very affectionate. We make time to go on dinner dates, have friends over and go out with friends, which we have done recently with both our kids. They see that.
I do too. You know? I want my kids to view us as parents and stuff. Not parents. I want my kids to view us as humans.
Yes.
And not just as mom and dad.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
And it's really easy to just be mom and dad.
I know. Well, I think my parents actually set like a really good example. Even for back then, my mom always had a very busy personal life. She was always like doing bridge and she had her girlfriends. They would have parties at our house. Like I would wake up in the morning, there'd be like grown women passed out all over our couches and stuff.
That's amazing.
Because you got to remember there was really nothing to do. So like the women would just like party and stuff like that. And then also like my mom would be like, hey, your dad and I are going out to dinner or whatever. I know you said your parents did the same thing and we had babysitters. And then they also let me have like my friends, like a ton of them, like 8 of them would come over. We have like slumber parties or whatever and like destroy my home. And I still can't get with that here. I'm like, oh, kind of takes a little bit out of me. I think the difference is my mom didn't have a full-time job and all she had to do is like eventually clean. Like we're juggling a shit ton. So when someone comes over and eats off road and destroys it, that means I have to go to the grocery shopping now. And I had to clean and I kind of don't want to do that. Like that was like extra step. I mean, I do it, but I'm like
back to us having too much on our plates.
Yeah.
I know it's hard. And it's hard because then when I think of taking it all off our plates, I'm like, it sounds so nice, right? Like homeschooling and maybe not having as intense extracurriculars and spending more time together as a family. But then I'm also like, at the same time, like, is that the right move? Because I also think they gain a lot from school. I think they gain a lot from dance.
Oh,
I think that
they love their dance
actually get a little time to myself to get stuff done. I don't know how
I
it
did
would all
homeschool.
work.
It was very, very hard for me to have the life that I needed when they're at school.
Right.
Which is like working on all the other stuff for myself. Like whether it's like my hobbies, my painting, or now we're doing like our little side gigs and stuff. Like it was hard.
It is hard.
I mean, I will never forget that year, but it was challenging.
That's why I always say, like, ideally, if I could, I would just love to do a 1-year hiatus. Like that would be my goal. Like 1 year,
what it's all about,
off everything.
See, I sort of know what it's all about. We weren't heavily in dance, but my kids were much younger.
Yeah.
But we did do a year of it. And I remember it was great. Yeah. But I was also happy the next year. And they were happy. Yeah. They're very excited for school. And now that they know what homeschool is like sometimes they'll say like, oh, I kind of wish we homeschool, but they still very much still like school. It's not enough to say we want to homeschool. Yeah. Because I always give them that option every year. I'm like, do you want to homeschool? You know what I mean? Then you'll have more time for this and that. And they're like, they like don't know if they want to, you know? Yeah. So I
think we will at some point. I have a feeling my kids, as they get a little bit older,
maybe
might want to, but maybe not. But they've talked about it before. We've talked about it before. And I think I could handle it. This sounds so selfish, but I think I could handle it a little bit more if they were a little bit more independent.
Absolutely.
I think it'd be very hard for me to.
I'm happy that they're in school now, and maybe because they have like, I'm not that I want them to sit in front of a computer program, but to get some of the meat of stuff. Yeah. You know, like 3 days out of the week, they can sit there for a couple hours and get like whatever. Absolutely. That I can't teach like even 6th grade math.
That's what I'm saying. Like even Lily, she's at a point where she's learning things that I don't know how I would teach.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One time I went in to Styles' like Montessori class. Like it was like it was 2nd grade because we homeschooled when he was first. And like I had to walk around and like help the kids. And they were like asking me questions. Dana, it's so funny. I was like, and I'm like, looks right to me. And I like
when we went on the field trip, they were like, how many vertebrae does
I know.
I'm like, what?
Whipping out my phone and Styles like, Mom, you can't do that. I'm like, I just want to make sure I'm right.
I am not smarter than a 5th grader. Speaking of that, though, what's I think interesting about our kids' schooling that I don't think we've ever discussed is our kids are in a Montessori program.
Yeah. And at a public school. It's not like we're fancy and rich.
Right. It's free.
It's free in our public school.
And it's through the public school. It's like a lottery system. You have to get into it. But it's kind of a really cool in between, I think, for anyone that is kind of looking for somewhat of a homeschooling experience in the sense of like how they learn. Yeah. Not being home, but like how they learn.
I don't really know what they're doing all day, but.
Well, it's just much more. I did a lot of research with it because of
they're a little more independent, right? They're like going and doing their things at their own time. I mean, I see that little worksheet, so they have to get a certain amount of things done within the week, and it's up to them which ones they start and which ones they accomplish. And then by Friday, they have like Fun Friday, and if they didn't get everything done, they don't get to like do the Fun Friday because they have to finish up.
And they can start in whatever order they want. So like if they walk in and they feel like today I want to start with my math, they can.
Yeah, and I do like that. I don't know that everyone will agree with this, but I do like that they're with younger and older in both ways.
So I was going to explain all that. Yeah, true. That's another part of it. They're with like, it's 3 grades per classroom.
So I feel like it helps them they get to start off as like the underdog and know what it's like. Because anywhere you go, you're going to have people where you feel nervous to be around elders, bullying, whatever the cool kids are. And then also when you get older, you have to learn patience for the younger ones. You know what I mean? So like, I think it's a great, dynamic.
It is.
In my opinion.
It is. The difference is, I would say, between like Montessori and regular traditional school, which we did up until this year, is that they can make their own schedule as far as what work order that they do things in. They're in with multiple grades. So like it's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th together. Nope. No.
First through 3rd.
Through 3rd, and then 4th through 6th, and then 7th and 8th are together. And then that's nice because if they are behind in one subject, they can kind of sit with the little ones and kind of work on it. If they're ahead in one subject, they can kind of sit with the older ones. They can teach each other and learn from each other. And it's kind of just like
and it's okay to also have like a friend that is a year younger.
Right.
Because like Styles hangs out with like one that's still in the 3rd grade Montessori, even though he's in 4th. Yeah. And we still like do play dates and stuff. So.
And what else? They do a lot more hands-on learning.
Yeah.
A lot more hands-on learning. They're allowed to get up from their seat.
Tactile. Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
Yeah, me too.
They can get up from their seat. They could sit on the rug and do their work on the rug. They could sit on
That's true.
That's a huge thing.
It is a huge thing. Not to have to be like stuck at one place all the time. I wish I had
traditional schooling. You're sitting in your seat.
But we should talk about how we sort of worry that like we're not quite sure the transition from Montessori to because we're obviously after 8th grade they're going to go to a high school.
It would be public high school.
It'd be public high school,
and that's where I wonder if we'll start homeschooling. But we'll see.
I know I don't want to shelter, but I don't know. Maybe it's not necessary for them to have to be around that, not culture, but that like vibe of the way kids are these days. I don't know.
They're definitely in a little bit of a bubble. Their classrooms are small. They have like less than 20 kids in it. And the younger ones have 2 teachers per room. And then on top of it, the other interesting thing about Montessori, I think, is like come middle school. I was talking to Lily about this.
Yeah.
Usually, like traditional public middle school, you switch classrooms. You have 9 periods or whatever they decide here. We had 9 periods. And every like 45 minutes, you switch classrooms, which means you're switching your subject and you're switching your teacher. Montessori, you're in one classroom the whole time, other than when you go to a specials and stuff. Like when you go to like...
When you go into... doesn't she have to go to like... Remember, Styles was saying the same thing for like some of the specials. They'll only take 2 like Montessori kids and they'll be going into a regular 6th grade
They get integrated into regular classrooms. Yeah. So they get to see the other kids too, which is kind of nice too.
Yeah. It's also scary for them, but it's also good for them to kind of like, I don't know, not be in your bubble the whole time.
Correct.
Get pushed into like a situation where you have to be a little bit brave. But
they get all the positives of being in public school. Like they still have the funding for the playgrounds and they get to do all the like big events that the school holds and stuff. Yeah. So it's a really nice
I just worry that like, I don't know. I guess the teachers kind of get like, they can kind of do what they want. So I'm like, I hope my kid's learning something here.
Yeah.
That's the only like maybe interesting thing, but we'll see.
I'll tell you what, Lily's, I don't want to use the word struggling, but it's not coming as easy to her as it always has. But I almost feel like that's a good thing. I'm like,
absolutely.
Okay, well, like the work is getting a little harder now.
Same thing for Styles. Like now he has things he has to like think about and study about for like, you know, I'm like, do you have reading and stuff tonight?
Yeah.
Like, these are the like responsibility things that like I'm having to remind him now where he used to not have to do it like last year because he was younger. But I think that's overall in general. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, what about this? Do you think that kids should be able to retake tests?
I think you asked me this before, right? Well,
I think it's an interesting topic.
I don't know. I think for sure everyone deserves a redo. Mm-hmm. But then after that, I don't know. I don't think that like, first of all, I hate fucking tests.
I know.
Like to value and validate where we're at intellectually or placement wise. I don't know. Like I just feel like some kids were never meant for like this certain type of schooling. Okay, great. So if they weren't, we have one more test so you can retake if you're sick or you haven't been doing well, you've been stressed or things have been on your mind or whatever. But I don't know if you should be able to keep retaking them. Like, because then they won't try. Like, where is like the accountability for getting your shit together too? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't want to be that harsh, but I definitely think like there's got to be, we all have to have like sort of some sort of structure and rules perhaps. So like, you know, a one like nice like, here, redo it. I get it. Things happen. And then maybe after that, it's circumstantial. If the teacher really knows you're struggling, you're about to pull out of like school or whatever, if that child needed to take a second test, I guess. But if this is like something consistently happening all the time, no, they don't get a second test. I'm sorry.
I definitely believe in retakes, at least like you said, at least one. I think that it actually helps kids learn. Like, for example, my daughter just did poorly. They had a test right after Christmas break and she did really bad on the first one. And she was like, oh my gosh, like I just feel like it was like busy over Christmas break and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, it was like no stress because like she also knew that she can get a retake.
Yeah.
Which she actually studied for and did really well on. And it wasn't so much about the grade that I cared about, but I was like, it's cool that you are learning to learn. Yeah. Like, I just feel like if you're studying, I know I'm really good at memorizing. I'm really good at test taking and I'm really good at memorizing.
Me too.
And my thing is I used to memorize, dump it out on the page and forget about it the next day.
Absolutely. I would come up like jingles and riddles to be like, this and this and this, make that.
Yeah,
like, I'd get it in my head and then I would just boom. Like in college, I'd be able to do that. I'd soak it all in and then dump it out.
Regurgitate it and you're never.
You're right. So
where I think if you're retaking it, you're studying it again and you're really trying to like master it. And I feel like at that point, you're really learning.
I know. I wonder if every kid should be able to take, not be able, but I wonder just for the sake of relearning, they have to take the test. They have to take it 2 times in a row. And then they'll take the average or the better of the score or something like that. Yeah.
I'm definitely for retakes. Like you said, I get you're not going to have it limited. I'm not saying like, I totally agree with accountability and you shouldn't be able to take the test 5 times. But I think a solid 1 to 2 times is like very fair for the purpose of learning, not even for the purpose of grades.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. On to another subject, which I was just thinking about that I wanted to bring up when we were talking about like, I don't know, suffering with the kids and stuff like that. Do you ever this is so shitty and selfish, but do you ever feel like you're going to yell at John or whatever for not being as like stressed out as you are? Like if he's just sitting there? Like I do this to Trevor all the time. He's just sitting there. I'll be like, what are you doing? We got things to do. But like if I feel like there's peace in the house and I'm struggling, I feel like I want someone else to struggle with me.
Yeah. So like,
what's wrong with us?
Okay,
That's
I actually
so
was going to
mean.
say opposite in a way, but we'll get to it. But I was going to say, so yes, if like I'm cleaning and I'm going crazy and stuff,
I'm
and
like
he's just like
you.
sitting around, I feel like I would be like, what the fuck? Like, why?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Like I want him to go crazy with me.
Sometimes he's actually the one going crazy, and I'm like, we're fine. Like we have so much
Does
time.
he make you though like want to join the crazy?
I can't relax if someone else is doing something because then I feel like a lazy piece of shit. So I'll get mad at him and I'll be like, why are you cleaning right now? I want to sit down.
Oh no, you'd hate me then. Like I'm always buzzing around doing something. Like there is always something new. And Trevor like saunter in. I'm like, there's no time for sauntering. Like, why are you even standing here? Why like in the mornings, he'll be like standing there and he'll be talking. I'm like, why are you standing? Like we have to get lunches, snacks, water bottles.
There's no time.
Like there's no time to just hang. Okay, it's 7:30 and we have like 30 minutes. Let's go. It's like,
is he not good with time management?
You know, he's so like quick, like at work and stuff, and gets back to people responsible. But I'm starting to wonder if time management is not good for him. Whereas, like, well, I don't even know if I'm good. I'm just fast.
Yeah.
So I just get it done, and I don't necessarily stress like about getting it done. I just know that I'm quick, and I'll probably get most of the time.
Yeah.
Now, will I take out civilians with me if you get in my way because I have one thing on my mind and I'm a mission?
Yeah.
Like on my mission, I'm going to get all this done. So if like someone comes in, that's overstimulating to me and I will be bitching. I'll like, you know what I mean? So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that I can get a lot of shit done, but I'm not necessarily always happy about it.
I'm a procrastinator, but then when I'm ready to go, like everybody better be ready to go. Like we are going to like do what we need to do and get
definitely
it done.
Not a procrastinator.
Oh yeah, I definitely
can't because that stresses me out knowing in the back of my mind that something needs to be done. I have to get it done.
Yeah.
Trevor wants to like plan a big Saturday. I'm like, no, bitch, every little moment, like when you go up the stairs or down the stairs, just grab something with you. Like every 10 minutes you have to spare, just go do something. He's like, no. I just want to take a whole day. Like that loft project, it's like taking him all week. He's like, I just want to do every room by room. I'm like, okay.
Because he wants to see the start and the completion. That's how I am too. If I'm going to start something, I want to go hard and I want to finish it. So it does stress me out to be all over the place. Like John's an all over the place cleaner. Like he'll like pick up something here and then he'll go over there. And then and I'm like, no, do a room or do a closet or do a drawer. Like pick something and finish it. I feel like that
takes so long. And when you have multiple children, they want your attention. That all day garage Saturday is not happening enough for us. Our kids want our time and our attention. So it's like, let's utilize an hour. I know that you want to complete a whole room, but like, let's take an hour. We're going to go through this cabinet. Okay. Tomorrow we'll come back. We'll do this drawer. You know, like to me, it's like little pieces get done quicker than this one magical day.
Yeah. And I know that in my head, but in my head, I want to see the completion of something.
Yeah. You get more satisfied.
It's the same way when we start like a home project, like it needs to get done as soon as possible. Like, I'm not doing a project. Like some people though can like fix up a house over time.
Oh,
like, no, I'm not about that shit.
I'm not too.
Like if we're starting it, we need to finish it in the weekend.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be done.
I don't do big home projects.
I'm not talking about like massive. I'm just saying like when we did the bathroom, we did like
I know.
the wood up to the thing and then we did like the wallpaper. Like I'm like, this needs to get done like today. And we'll stay up all night long. I become like a crazy
done that
person.
Before where like I can't see anything else and I hyper obsess and I don't care if it's like 3 a.m. I'm going to get done. But I think since I've had children, I've been able to like, I don't know if I can do that. I just get
maybe
so
that's
tired.
why I'm not like maybe that's why I'm not artist. Maybe that's why I'm not like creative and artistic. That's the word I'm looking for. You painting, that would drive me nuts. Like I would need that painting done.
Yeah.
I can't start. I know you have to because you have to let it dry. You have to like walk away from it.
When I first started painting, this is way before Trevor and children, I would need the day.
Yeah.
And I'd have to like get in my friends be like, what? I'm like, I can't, I'm painting. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, I need the day. And I needed to know no one was there in the house around me. I wasn't expecting company. Okay. That slowly changed. And it's part of the reason why, like when I had kids, I completely stopped painting because I had this limiting belief.
All or nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. This all or nothing thing. And then I was like, okay, they went to preschool. I have 2 hours and I'd run upstairs. And even Trevor being home, I'm like, don't make noise or whatever. It was with Callie was younger and stuff. I'm like, it'd frustrate me. But now I'm lucky if I can run up and get like 30 minutes in and then go back down. That's why my paintings take forever now.
But that's a good tip for moms out there. So like if you have a hobby or you have something that's overwhelming and you're an all or nothing person, like learning how to
it's a limiting belief to be an all or nothing person, to be honest. Like, and I had to go through all those
learning
stages.
How to do all that.
Yeah, learning how to be like, hey, well, I'm not going to give up on my passion. Okay.
Right.
But won't I feel better? Won't I feel better, Julie? I have to talk to myself to go up there. And before lunch, you have 30 minutes. Okay. 10 of it will be some of the social media stuff setting up. But I'm like, you have a good 20 minutes to do something you like. Okay. So what if it didn't get done the next day?
Yeah.
And that's all I can.
It is tough. It's definitely easy to be all or nothing. It's the same with like dieting, right? Like I think we've talked about this before. I used to be the person that would like screw up on a Friday night. We went out to dinner, not screw up, but like I would binge at dinner, and then that was it. I was like, oh, I screwed up my whole weekend, so now I'll just like eat whatever I want all weekend and I'll start up again Monday. And it's like,
what is this idea of starting up on Monday?
I know, but
what is
like,
Monday? Trevor even said today, he's
I
like,
don't know.
I'm stressed, it's Monday. I'm like, why do you give so much weight to the day?
I don't know.
What
I guess
is Monday?
Because you view it as a lot of people work Monday through Friday. So you're viewing it as Saturday and Sunday are kind of your like break day to just like be and do what you want.
But it's also your job. Okay, this is what I yelled at him today. I was like, you know that every Monday you're going to wake up with like 750 emails to get to. So are you just going to continue to wake up every day or every Monday and just be pissed? It's up to you to change your mindset. How about being grateful that I have 750 emails to open up to? 1, 2, fucking get up and meditate if you need to. Like, get your mind together, find your little cup of joy of coffee, watch a fucking TikTok video of like animals, whatever makes you happy before you start that day. It's none of this victim mentality, like, oh, it's Monday, I have so much to do. It's like,
it's so funny
bitch,
though. I'm
please,
laughing
get it
right
together.
now. I'm laughing right now because I'm the same way. So I was going to say to you before when you brought up like,
I just don't have that mentality.
do you get annoyed?
Yeah.
I was going to bring up before that like,
about it.
Whenever John's in a cranky mood, I get annoyed and he's like, I'm not even allowed to be cranky in this house. And I'm like, no, it's so fucking annoying. Like, you're bringing me down.
And I'm like cranky 90% of the time. Yeah, when Trevor had one moment.
He had one moment. Like, I could come in and be cranky and be like, oh, this day was so ridiculous. I had to go here and this and this and this. And like, but like he has a second of it. And I'm like, what is your problem?
I know, get it.
You are bringing the whole vibe down.
Absolutely. I know I've been cranky for like 5 days in a row, like mega bitch.
Right? Like how often are we like, oh, we have our period and we have this for dance.
And I was like, do you know what I did
and
today? I went to 2 different grocery stores and then to go pick up the kids and like and then I went to Jungle Body because I want to work out and live my life and have fun. And then I had to go pick them up and it's like 9 o'clock. I haven't even made dinner, unloaded groceries. There's dogs I need to feed. Like I went off and he was just like, okay, well, you're doing that to yourself. And then the same thing. He has like one day and I'm like, get your shit together.
I know. It's so funny. It's like, it's just like looking from the outside in though, I feel like. Because like I want to give that advice to myself almost. Yeah. And I do give myself that advice a lot. Yeah. And that's why I tell him, I'm like, I really do try to work on myself and like give myself the same advice. But like, it is funny when you like zoom out and you're looking at it and you're like, oh shit. Like hypocrite bitch.
Totally. Well, it's always that. We're always trying to give that advice. And then he came up to me later and it was real sweet because I never do this. Like I feel like I'm a very mean person, but anyway, he just came up later, like an hour later and gave me a hug from behind. He's like, thank you. And I'm like, oh, really? I'm
Thank you for being a bitch, babe.
No, like for like drilling him about that Monday thing. Like I totally went off on him and I was like, well, that was nice. I feel like I'm like, it's a 50-50 chance. For me, I'm either way over the edge and cranky where if you try to tell me that I need to cool down, I'm going to freak out.
Don't tell someone who's cranky to calm down.
Well, and then the other 50% of the chance is that I get it together and I notice that I'm being nasty and then I'll go back to my kids or him and be like, I'm sorry, guys. Like it either works or it doesn't, but it's like a 50-50 chance. So that's why I did it to him today. Yeah. And he's like, it did help. It did help. I'm like,
it is true though, because even though I say like I have my cranky days and stuff,
when someone tells you you're being a shit, your ego gets to you, you're like, damn.
Well,
Am I being a shit?
Yeah. And like, I do agree with the victim mentality. It is one of my most... Okay, I have 2 big pet peeves with personalities. One is the victim mentality. And I'm not talking about having cranky days. We're all going to have cranky days. We're all going to have bad days. Yeah. I'm talking about like you can't get yourself out of a funk or you are complaining about a situation that's changeable and you're not working on the change. Yes. Can't stand that.
Even if it's small strides.
Yeah, whatever. Start something. Number 2, my next most hated thing is I hate people who talk to talk and don't act on the talk. So like people who are always like, and I'm not saying like not having distant goals because this is 2 different things. Okay. So like I'll talk about the fact that like one day I want to like live in an RV and like I want to travel and stuff, right? To me, that's like a distant goal and I'll talk about that. Yeah. But like the people who are like, I'm gonna move, I'm unhappy in this life and I'm gonna move into an RV this year and then every year passes and they never do it. Or like, I'm gonna do this year. I'm gonna work out more and then every year passes and they don't do it. Or I'm gonna whatever. Like, and it's like, I get it because doing hard things is hard, but like also like it drives me nuts because you're talking about it so much, which means you're unhappy with where you're at. Like go do it. Yeah. You have one life. You don't know when it's going to end.
Absolutely.
Go do it.
Not only that, it's like you need to why is this happiness all anchored on one goal? Let's say it's the RV one, not you, but this person that wasn't doing it. And it's like every year you should be regrouping, rethinking. Yeah, regroup. It's like, why put all your happiness in this idea that the RV is going to make you happy? How don't you start with yourself? Yeah. You know what I mean? It all starts within. It all starts within. And
but I'm just saying, like, the people who have like a goal that they talk about nonstop, but then they never try to make that goal happen. Yeah. It's just a frustrating thing. I know, it's like, because you want to see them get the goal. You're like, yes, like, go for it. And then it never happens.
Oh, well, they need to get it together. They need a little pep talk from me. Drill Sergeant Julie.
So tell me, name something that first thing that pops off your head that changed for you as a mom of one versus a mom of two. Like, what's something that you maybe like loosened up on, or you like learned or got better with?
It actually started with Callie. I was so like, I'd make dinner, and if she did not like it or eat it, like it was so hard for me. I wasn't a true, I guess, biological mom yet. I was a stepmom, and it hurt my feelings big time. I was very offended when she didn't like, and because I would spend hours on these meals, like not kid-friendly meals. Like one time I think I made, even Trevor was like, it wasn't good. It was like cauliflower rice or like it was like parsnip soup. No, parsnip mashed potatoes.
Oh my God.
Something weird like that. And they were like, they just couldn't. Even Trevor was like, and I like lost my shit that day.
Oh no.
Yeah, not on them. And I like walked away and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I think I was trying so hard to be like mom and like domesticated. But yeah, that's one of them.
Okay. And then like you'd say like by the time you had your other two, like you kind of were just like whatever.
Open up another thing.
Or you didn't take it personal.
Yeah, like with Styles, I still wanted like organic. And so the big difference, or one of them would be opening up my pantry from when Callie and Styles were younger to now Freya's age, which is all shit food now.
I know. I was laughing the other day, right? Because I was looking at my Facebook memories.
Yeah. I mean, we still have some organic things. I'll get organic milk, organic orange juice, organic applesauce, some of the fruits and vegetables I have. But like if you open up the cabinet, there's like fucking Takis in there, Doritos, like shit I would never have. Even when Callie comes over now, she's like, I can't believe this is in our pantry. I'm like,
I know.
I don't know.
I was scrolling through my Facebook memories the other day and I saw this, I made the kids princess hummus. Okay. They were like 2. Okay. And it was like, I was really against like food dyes and all this stuff. Yes. So I made them hummus. I used like organic chickpeas and tahini and I blended it together and then I put beets in it so it would dye it pink so it would look like princess hummus.
Yeah, I used to make our own cereal and stuff.
And I know. And I was literally cracking up because at the same time I was heating up frozen chicken nuggets and pizza.
I know.
Now. And I was like, oh, how times have changed. Yeah. And I agree. I do try to like, I get into these kicks and I try to buy healthy and stuff, but I've definitely balanced it all out more. Yeah. And like, we're like short on time, but I was seriously like, wow, like mom of one versus mom of 3. Like that is classic.
Another one, even just between one child and the next one, is I use those diapers that had the cloth fabric thing.
Oh,
and that you would,
cloth diaper.
That you would like wash and stuff with Styles. And then he was getting like these horrible rashes. So I was like, fine. And I used like the nicest diapers. By the time Freya came around, I was like, give me the cheap Target ones. I don't care what fucking diaper it is. Size-wise, nothing.
100%.
Like, I remember what is. I don't care about the wipes. With Styles, I got like the organic, sensitive, dye-free or whatever. I'm like, give me whatever you have.
I remember at the hospital when I had my first, I didn't even take the diapers that they had or the wipes or anything because I had like the Honest brand, like, all the like dye-free, whatever. And I was using all that. By the time I had like Violet and Jack, my next 2, I was like, take all the free shit we can get, put it in the bag, like let's get out of here. Yeah. Like that diapers are expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You know? I did not care about that from one to the other.
It's so same
thing with clothes too.
Yeah.
After the first one, you realize what you really need in shoes and socks and stuff.
Oh, and especially with my first being like a girl. Yeah. I was like Lily always had like bows and like shoes as a baby and all this stuff. And like by the time I had Jack, like it's a running joke at dance because like I remember them being like, oh, he's wearing shoes. Like, yay. And I'm like, yeah, it's a big day.
I know. Or if they even choose to put on clothes.
I know.
Like, I don't want to.
He wore a bathrobe to school the other day. A bathrobe.
That's great that they let him though.
I mean, he had like a shirt underneath it, you know, but like, that was his coat. Instead of a coat, he had a bathrobe on. Oh, and I was like, you go. You look like Hugh Hefner right now, but it's fine.
Oh, it's fine. So cute.
And guess what? That was the day they took pictures of him for his portfolio.
Oh, well.
I was dying laughing.
I remember one time, so when Callie's younger, we had to split her on days. And so obviously 1 year picture day would be with us and like the other one with her mom. And like, it was, I think only like my first years being like a real like mom to her, not even like girlfriend to Trevor and stuff, like stepmom. And I don't know. I didn't know. She's like, I'm like, well, what do you want to wear? And she said, we did her hair. And then she's like, I want like earrings and a necklace. I like let her put on, and she's like, and makeup. I'm like, okay. So I like let her put on lip gloss and stuff. And so it looked like she had like a bunch of stuff on, and like the picture didn't come out. I mean, I didn't care. I've had awkward pictures like that. And her mom was like so not happy. I feel like I totally like failed them. Both of them were not happy with the picture. I'm like, really? You don't think you look cute? I was like trying to justify
it's so funny though, right? Because like zoom out,
but I'm
and like
free like that.
In the grand scheme of things, like that picture didn't even matter.
I know.
You know?
But I felt like I was in mega trouble. It was really weird.
Well, in the moment it probably mattered. But like it's just funny the things we put like value on, you know?
Picture day. I don't even know why I need to get them.
I don't buy them.
Oh, you don't? See, I started this thing where we have pictures on their wall from the beginning of the year, or not the beginning.
Sorry, Life
pictures.
Touch. You're not getting my money.
I wish I never started that, because now I feel like, and also like dance pictures are expensive too.
I don't get them.
I don't either. I don't think I have. Or
I don't get them.
I think I did the first little bit, but
yeah. So I don't order any of those pictures. I mean, I will say I have had a few I've ordered, and I will get like the cheapest, teeniest, like the digital package where I get the one photo for like $19.99 and it just gets sent to my phone.
Oh, I get the cheapest ones too. I never
get the printed ones or anything.
Yeah, I don't.
And I very rarely even do it anymore, because my feeling is like I do get professional photos of the kids done.
I know you do. You're good at that.
I'd rather that. I'd rather save up all that money from all these like
rinky-dink stuff
and get like a photo shoot of all of them.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done like the last couple of years. Like if there's like I'd rather hire like a true photographer, like lifestyle type photographer, and get pictures like that done. So we'll do that usually once a year, once every other year.
That reminds me of photos. Do you remember like photo albums? Like how they would be
a big deal? Oh, they used to like JCPenney, Macy's photos.
Well, that too. I always wanted like, this is my time, but glamour shots.
I loved glamour shots. I have to show, oh my God.
Whenever we'd come to States, I'm like, Mom, I think she finally let me do it one year. But speaking of like photo albums, do you like keepsake things? Like I remember Trevor one time had like one of Callie's teeth or whatever. And I was like, why are you keeping this? He's like, I don't know. I feel like people keep this. I'm like, throw that shit away. No one wants the hair. No one wants the teeth.
The hair really throws me off. Like, why?
That was like back in the day, though. I know. I don't know one does it anymore.
I don't need a lock of my children's hair.
I don't either.
I just feel very serial killer-like. That's what it reminds me of.
It's like DNA proof.
Yeah, and honestly, let's be honest. Would you want to get that? Would you want your mom to be like, here's a lock of your first haircut? No one wants that.
No one wants any of it.
Just get rid of it. I am not a huge keeper, so I have a tub for each of my kids. Actually, it's kind of all gotten mishmashed.
I just shove it up there in the attic.
I was going to say, I started with a tub for each of them, but it's kind of all gotten mishmashed. And now my goal right now is just save, not organize. So like I'll throw into one of the tubs. It doesn't matter whose right now. Eventually when my kids are like teenagers and I have more time on my hands, I plan on going through it.
Do you save a lot though? So like my mother-in-law.
I'm a tosser.
Saved so much of Trevor and Emily's things, like all their toys.
Yeah.
So this is kind of interesting. And I don't think I'll ever be that way, but I will say a pro to that.
Yeah.
So when they have a basement in their house and their extra room, which is where we sleep in, she has these shelves of like and now it's like antique and ancient. It's so cool. She has almost like every single one of their toys in the closet, and like cool like outfits and costumes they've worn, and like I don't know, and like posters and stuff that you could probably sell on eBay for like thousands now, like they're really, really, really old. And I'll say like her keeping all that shit, it's kind of interesting. She made that one room kind of like a memorabilia room of all their stuff.
It is cool.
And now their kids that are older can be like, oh my God, like you like this or whatever. It was like a troll, like back in the day when they were like, not the trolls like that there's now, but like back in the day, like they'd have the collection of them and stuff. Like she kept a lot of stuff, and it's actually rather interesting. But I just know I won't do that. But I'll say like, I don't know if you're a collector out there, maybe you can make your one extra room the collection room. I don't know.
I think there's a balance. So for me, I'm not a huge saver. There's a few things I have, and like I said, I have the tubs, but like, so I'll save like some like probably like maybe one or two art things that they do a year. Like if it's something that was really cool, or it was like a handprint, something that like will remind me of how tiny they were.
I do want to put something together for them one day. My dad did that for me.
And I do have their hospital outfits, each one of them, the ones that I took them home with. And that's about it as far as saving. I obviously they still have toys. Like maybe I'll save one or two of them, but like
I've saved some toys of theirs.
I don't know if I will.
And I think a couple outfits because I thought maybe they'd want it if they have kids, but like
I didn't really save outfits other than like I said the coming home outfit. That was it. I don't have any other outfits.
I feel like I need to go through all the things that I think and then whittle it down again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So like my grandma was a huge saver, probably almost border hoarder.
Border hoarder?
A border hoarder.
That sounds like a good beer.
Right? She was like a clean border hoarder. Like it wasn't like bugs and like clutter everywhere. But you opened a closet and it was like stacked with stuff. You opened like, she had a spare room. Like it was like Beanie Babies and like my dad's toys. The basement had Halloween costumes he wore when he was 2. Like,
I know, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And my dad used to always tell her, like, you better not die with all this in your house because this is a lot to go through.
Oh, I want to go through it. I kind of like going through people's things like that.
It was a lot. It was very overwhelming to go through when she passed away. And let me tell you, like, there was things that were saved that were just so ridiculous. Like, she had a coloring book that was from my dad that had like 2 pages in it colored. And it was like, Johnny, 1972.
Johnny. That's so like New York. Johnny,
1972. Why?
No.
So I have learned from that a little bit, and I've learned like not everything has to be saved. But I agree, I saved more probably with Lily in the beginning, than I did as each kid. Like,
me too. I feel
same
bad
with like
for
a baby
Freya.
book.
She
like,
was like not as much as like
no, you get too busy. Same with a baby book though. Like Lily has like I had a whole baby book for Lily.
I had one that you're supposed to like write down what their first words, and I feel really bad. Freya's like, Mom, what were my first words? I was like chopping something. It was like a busy day. I'm like, I don't know, Mom or Dad or something. Mama, Dada. I like don't even know.
I can beat that. My kids asked me what time they were all born, and I was like, I think like it was. All after dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, I
don't know. I want to say like 5 something and 9 something.
Stuff.
But what's going on? Because my in-laws will be like, every single one of their kids, they could be like 5:21 p.m., 3:27
they had to remember phone
a.m.
numbers and addresses and stuff. We don't have to remember any of that anymore.
True.
I feel like we're just not using that part of our brain anymore.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're not using any part of our brains anymore right now, Dana. We're in like fight or flight and total survival mode.
I know.
In this moment of our life, so.
Well, I think it's pretty funny. Definitely some big changes. But I'm trying to see. All right. I have one last question for you.
Okay.
This
is so interesting. I feel like I'm totally being interviewed.
I know. If you could get one plastic surgery procedure done.
Only one?
For free. Only one. The doctor's like, I'm going to do this as a complimentary service, but you can only choose one. What would you do?
I don't know.
You need to pick. You need to pick in the next 5 seconds or you don't get a plastic surgery procedure at all. You're going to lose it.
I don't know because I don't know if I want my boobs reconstructed nicely or something. But I don't know if I want the actual implant or just them reconstructed.
Okay, but you'd like your boobs done.
I think so.
Okay, I think that's a great one.
I don't know. I've heard a lot about this like vaginal restoration or whatever. That might be interesting only if I get like more sexual pleasure from it or something.
I don't think you do.
Well, then what's the point? Because Trevor will take me.
I don't know. I just think it's like,
with my
well,
cave.
maybe you wouldn't pee yourself ever. And you probably would like,
okay.
I don't really know. We should look into that a little bit more.
Okay. And then just okay, wait. Maybe the boobs I can pay for myself. Maybe like a facelift.
Okay.
The whole thing, like the neck too. Like we're going to stretch all this out and this is all going to, wait, I don't know how it goes. This goes back.
I would do a tummy tuck, hands down.
Yeah, this one. But no one sees your stomach.
I do.
You wake up in your face every day. This is 100% happening from here to here always.
Well, I don't need that right now. I want my tummy tuck.
That's true. You're really young. Okay.
I would just like, it's just even
happy.
you, like, you can't really get much stretched out yet. That's like a facelift is like a 55 and older type
well,
thing.
my one time, and I'll wait till I'm 55
okay,
or
fine.
something.
Well, then maybe if I was going to wait forever, that would be what I did. But if I had to do it right in the second, I would do a tummy tuck because I would want it to be snatched, tight, and hot. Yep. And I'd wear like a string bikini afterwards.
But why can't you just like march around with what you have now? It's beautiful.
I don't like it. It's very flabby.
All of
like
us are.
Apron.
So
no,
what?
but you do not. No, you do
so
not.
just get high-waisted ones that cover the apron
I know,
part.
but I want to be able to, maybe I want to enter a bikini contest one day. I don't know. What if I want to do that?
Do you know that I entered a, what's it called? A boob contest?
Boob contest? What'd you do?
When I was like 19 in Daytona Beach, like during spring break. But what's it called? It's called
a wet t-shirt contest?
A wet t-shirt contest. Yeah. I was wasted. And I had like a thong underwear on it. And my boyfriend at the time was out in the audience. And I just came like, ow. And I was like, oh. And I like gave him a hug. Fun. And all my friends like pushed me back out. And they like splashed all this water. And it was like a really rinky dinky bar like that no one was at. It wasn't like a big one where like, I don't know. But I won.
Oh, fun.
Do you know what my prize was?
What was your prize?
Only a $100 bar tab.
I mean, that's
exposing
solid.
My entire body.
You might have done it for free. Have you ever watched Floribama Shore?
No.
Oh, it's like you know what Jersey Shore is, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the same thing, but it was in Floribama. It was like the Florida panhandle, like where it's in between Alabama and Florida.
Okay.
Like what is that? Panama City Beach or whatever.
Okay.
And there's like a group of them that did it. And it's funny. It's like trashy. But I was just watching it the other day and they did a twerking contest in a bikini. And they had to like twerk and like the whole crowd was like going crazy. And it reminded me that I was at like a rinky bar and like it was just so funny.
Do you ever notice that like when you twerk, do you feel like you only get like 2 out of like 10 really good ones? Like you have to like start and then it has to like vibrate.
You're giving me a lot of credit, ma'am. I can't twerk.
Yes, you can.
No, not a real twerk.
That's what I'm saying. Like you have to like kind of concentrate and then it has to like to get like the second one where it's like
I
up
told
there and
you,
then you
I
like
would love to be able to go boom, boom. I want each cheek to move individually.
But then you sort of lose it again. You're like,
no, I can't do that. Definitely not. All right.
I know.
Let's wrap it up on twerking.
Well, yeah, I'm going to make you practice and we'll send video of your progress.
Oh, that's fun. We should do a progress video.
And I'll be like,
you think I could do one cheek at a time?
No. I mean, I don't know. Listen, this is your goal maybe.
The world is my oyster.
2024 goal.
Okay.
One butt cheek
at a time. I'm Dana.
This is Julie.
Make sure to subscribe and like so you could see more of us. Done.
Donnie.
Thanks for listening. Make sure to follow and subscribe so you can tune in next week.